Hi, this is Zach.
And this is Francis.
Okay, and welcome to This Movie is a Hot Dog. This is a podcast where me and a friend of mine, and or my brother, watch a bad movie, critically, financial, or otherwise, and then we talk about it and tell you why it was bad and what we thought of it. This podcast, we watched Tresspass, starring Nicolas Cage and Nicole Kidman, and Francis, take it away.
All right, so I wanted to start off by saying that this movie was directed by Joel Schumacher. So if any of you have seen Batman Forever, this should be an indication of how bad this movie was.
But he's not. Outside of Batman Forever, he's made some decent movies.
Name a few.
I can't think of any directly off the top of my head, but if you let me stall for another 14 seconds and scroll down oh man, no, there's a lot of bad stuff on here.
There was.
He did Batman and Robin, Batman Forever, Phone Booth, man. Why do I think he's a good director? Why is that?
I told you. All I had to do was watch Batman Forever, and that was enough for me.
He did St. Elmo's Fire. That's a movie.
Yep.
The Lost Boys. That movie's
that's
okay.
Not bad. Okay, that's okay.
That movie's okay. Yeah, that was 35 years ago, but
it's a little dated.
He directed 2 episodes of House of Cards. I like that show. I couldn't tell that it was him directing them.
Well,
why is he famous then? I don't.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
Okay. Anyway,
so Nicolas Cage is also in it, which I don't like him at all as an actor.
You don't like Nicolas Cage?
No.
Not even for like ironic, campy reasons.
I don't know. He's kind of strange. It's just
that's what makes him so great.
I mean, I don't know. Did you see? Let's shoot to another bad movie just for a moment, and let's go. How about Ghost Rider?
What about Ghost Rider?
Horrible movie.
The first one was not that bad.
Oh, my God. Anyways, this movie, we watched Tresspass. All right, so I didn't know anything about this movie going into it, and so
I had heard of it through the grapevine that it was supposed to be this, like, remarkably bad film, and frankly, at first, I didn't think it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a Nicolas Cage movie, but I didn't realize it was going to end up being as bad as it was.
I went in with an open mind. Okay, it's supposed to be a thriller. It's rated R. Maybe it's cool. Maybe there's some good action, some good violence.
Literally none of that turned out to be true.
No. Well, so the movie starts off. Nicolas Cage's character is just a rich guy who's maybe doing things a little. The way I got the picture was maybe he's not doing business the regular way, maybe some illegal.
I didn't get any of that from the first thing.
I did a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe he's got the suitcases, the handcuff thing going to it.
Because there's supposed to be diamonds in it.
It just seemed offshoot to me. I don't know.
Yeah, why would you try to secure your millions of dollars of diamonds? That's ridiculous.
I don't know. Anyways, so he's a super rich guy that deals in diamonds, and he's on his way home, if I remember correctly.
Yes, to the giant mansion.
Right. He's doing business, goes to his giant mansion, and he's got a wife who's Nicole Kidman and one kid, right, the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's honey, I can't stay for dinner. Typical rich guy, you know.
Wait. We have to go back because one of my favorite lines is said.
Oh, go ahead.
So before Nick Cage gets there, his daughter and Nicole Kidman are arguing because the daughter wants to go to a party and Nicole Kidman doesn't want her, and the daughter's like, well, I'm going to ask Dad. Nick Cage comes in, and she says, Dad, Mom is being arbitrary and inflexible. And this is one of several lines that made me go, was this movie written in English?
Arbitrary and inflexible.
Because she says that, and I'm like, what does that mean? What child says that? And then Nicole Kidman says, do you want dinner? And he says no, and he starts to leave. And he's talking to the guy on the phone, and he goes, are you cartooning me?
I'm actually not quite sure what that means. Is that
did
joking?
You hear him say
that?
I did.
I think I remember that.
I have no idea. I wrote it down because I'm like, I don't know what that means. Are you cartooning me?
I'm gonna, while we're speaking, I'm gonna type into Google "to be cartooned" and see what comes up.
Well, probably nothing, because I doubt that that's a real phrase.
Yeah, how to be a cartoonist. You can be anything you want to be. There is no. It's not really. Yeah. Anyways, so moving on from that. So yes, he says he's going to go out, and his wife Nicole Kidman says, basically decides she's going to get him to stay by getting really nice.
By putting on sexy underwear.
Right. And looking nice, and she's going to serve dinner to him, and this will make him stay with the family for the evening. He's not having it. But he's not having it because he's not even getting a chance to look at her. He's in his office, and I don't want
He sees her through the window.
But he's not real, you know what?
He looks right at her. And I watched the movie, and you did too. You can see what she's wearing and what she looks like through the glass.
Anyways, he doesn't care.
Right.
Yeah, okay. That's the point here. Anyways, and I believe the daughter basically ends up sneaking out to go to the party.
Yeah.
Right. She ends up going out the window and then going into some weird, like really trashy looking woods area to get out.
Well, they have a big estate. There's woods where they live.
I understand that, but it's just like where she. I don't know. It just didn't look right to me.
The woods look trashy?
Where she was going, I don't know. You'd think it'd be better upkept, that area there.
What? It's on the side of the road. So she sneaks out the window, climbs over her fence, and she's in the woods, which is somehow trashy.
It just seemed offshoot to me, that's all.
I don't understand what you're talking about in the slightest.
Well, what do you want me to say? That's just my opinion.
Anyway. All right, well, it's wrong, but
that's fine. That's why I have you.
Oh, thanks.
Okay. So then these intruders show up,
dressed as the sheriff,
dressed as cops, but yeah.
And they go up to their little video doorbell, but it only shows them from waist up and neck down, so you only see their torso.
And then also, this is where the movie basically starts to go off the rails.
I give it a little bit into the kidnapping before it gets absolutely insane.
So they break into the house by, so they call up and say, we've just been going around to all the families in the area, and we just want to have a little chat with you or something about safety, and we're just here. We'd like to come in and talk to you. Now, to me, if I was there, that would be a red flag.
Well, yeah, I'd ask to see a badge or some sort of credentials, or just say no.
Or call the police station. Hey, do you have any police coming out here?
Well, not even that. It's like, we're making sure people are safe. Well, okay, that's fine. I don't have to let you in my home at all.
Yeah, we're good. See you later.
Yeah, bring a warrant.
So they show up. They ring the doorbell. I forget who answers the door. Is it Nicole Kidman?
It doesn't. It doesn't matter.
Basically, they bust in and they want valuables and the diamonds that they know that Nicolas Cage has somehow, and that they want to get into his safe. So now they're going to hold. They want but of course there's a combination to this safe, and.
Well, it is in this scene where they're holding them down on the floor where the first of, I want to say, about 300 twists happen in this movie.
I'm going to let you go. Go ahead.
So they're like, what's the code? First of all, Nicolas Cage's character's name is Kyle. And they say the name Kyle at least 3,000 times.
At least.
At least. Like, they say Nicole Kidman's name, who is like Clara or Abigail or who gives a shit. And maybe a dozen, but everybody in this movie will just scream Kyle over and over and over again. So they're like, what's the combination, Kyle? What's the combination? And he's like, it's this. And he goes, that's not the combination. I knew the combination the whole time.
Well, then why do we have this conversation?
Right, and you're like, and it was a twist, and you're like, well, what was the point of that? It would have been more dramatic if they just shut it off and went, you can't escape because we know everything about you. And so they drag him into his office where the safe is, while the female kidnapper goes upstairs to smoke crack, watch Nick Cage's family movies, and try on Nicole Kidman's dresses.
How exciting.
Nicolas Cage refuses to open the safe.
Now, why? Now, we should say why he refuses to open it.
Well, that hasn't been revealed yet.
Well.
He's refusing to open the safe. It's at this point where it's cemented. They said, "Are you cartooning me?" And Mom is being whatever. And then when he starts arguing with the kidnappers, that's when I was like, it's almost as if an Italian person was writing a script in English. So technically, all the words are right and the grammar is right, but the syntax and just the rhythm is super bizarre. And Nicolas Cage, say what you will about movies he's in, he's not a terrible actor. He's been in some decent movies.
National Treasure, right? Isn't he in National Treasure?
Yeah, I wouldn't really put that as... I would
it's
put
an okay movie.
I would put Con Air or Raising Arizona, but yeah, let's go National Treasure.
Raising
sure, why
Arizona,
not?
that is a good movie, okay.
And he's great in that.
Yeah.
And what he's just saying is odd. It's the only way to describe it. You're just why? Nobody talks like this. Why are you talking like this?
Especially to people that have you hostage in your home.
Well, it's not like he's talking like this and nobody else is. Everybody else is.
It's a lot of big words.
Yes, they use a lot of big words that are just unnecessary, that in this kind of situation nobody would use. And he curses, but he has a lot of bizarre curses. He'll be get away from her, you shit fuck! I'm gonna get you, you ass fate! Just really bizarre combinations of curse words that just nobody says.
I agree.
Thank you. Was that your contribution to the conversation? Yes, I concur.
I'm waiting to move the plot line along here.
Please continue.
Where were we?
He's refusing to open the safe.
A lot of this stuff gets jumbled because I felt like the movie is 90 minutes, by the way, exactly, and
so much longer than that.
It did feel long, but I'm getting a lot of the story mixed up because I feel like the exact same thing happens through the entire film. Well,
yeah, the basic plot is they're give us your money or give us your whatever. Nicolas Cage always has a reason that he won't do it or he can't do it. And the movie never, goes beyond that, except all of these unnecessary twists. So...
Oh, wait, I remember what happens now. Doesn't he say, no, I'm not going to open it, and he says, because you'll just kill us, right? Isn't that what happens next?
Yes, he's I'm not going to open it. And because, what are you going to do with those diamonds? Because you don't know how to sell them. And
they're marked. They're marked, and you're you're going to get in trouble. You're going to get caught by the police.
Right. So he's well, give the diamonds to me. Well, take the diamonds, leave. I'll collect the insurance on them. Then give me back the diamonds, and I'll be your middleman, and I'll sell them for you. And the main bad guy, listens to this really intently for some reason, even though we'll find out later that he has no reason to do that. And so he's oh, okay, whatever. And then he still refuses to open the safe because they don't want to have him be the middleman. They're going to kill Nicole Kidman, and that's when we find out Nicole Kidman had a quasi love affair with the one of the bad guys, the youngest of the bad guys. He finally opens the safe and they find out that there's nothing in it and he has no diamonds.
It's all his money is tied up in assets and
right.
And that he has nothing. He's in bankruptcy. They're going to mortgage the house or something like that. Basically, they get pissed off at him for it.
Right. And then So the daughter comes back from the party and they kidnap her.
No, you missed a part.
Well, no. Well, who cares if we go in order?
No, but I've got an issue with when she comes back.
Okay.
She comes back. I don't even remember what her name is because the movie was so bad.
Daughter.
So daughter comes in and they realize she's home, and Nicolas Cage's character says, run or something like that, and she runs inside the house, but never. And I know she's got a cell phone on her. What teenage daughter doesn't?
Well, she's just trying to get away at that point.
It's just that in any part where someone should call the police and has a chance to, they never do.
Well, Nick Cage and Nicole Kidman don't have a chance ever.
Well, they destroy their cell phones right in the beginning.
Right, and yeah, I guess the daughter could have. You're right. That's where the movie went south.
It's like why didn't you just
of all the other problems, that was the thing that really ruined it.
The movie could have been over right here. Yeah. So they take her hostage too. Now everything's complicated because there's 3 people and the daughter but again, Nicolas Cage refuses to help or anything. He just keeps being.
Well, they find out that there's no diamonds in the safe, and then the guy who had a love affair with Nicole Kidman says, I saw him get $1 million in cash the other day. There's $1 million somewhere in here. And he keeps going, no, I swear, we have no money. We're poor. And then the main kidnapper goes, he breaks down and goes, my mother used to get beaten by my father until she had renal failure, and now she needs a kidney. So we're going to get a kidney or we're going to take your money, and threatens to, take all their kidneys out.
Yep.
And then, a scene later, he's like, what? I don't want your kidney. Why did you think I wouldn't want your kidney? And it's just all of these twists where it's like, what's the code? We don't have the code. Give me your kidney. We don't want your kidney. I'm going to leave. No, I didn't. I came back. We know you have no money, but wait, we don't want your money anyway. We want that diamond necklace. The diamond necklace isn't real. It's
cubic zirconium.
It's back and forth for so long. And when you have this movie where it's nothing but twists, suddenly nothing is a twist.
Because you don't care.
But not only do you not care, you don't know what's really happening anymore. And not in, a clever way.
This isn't like Sherlock Holmes or something.
No, there's no mystery to solve. And by the end of it, you don't even give a shit about these people.
And then to add everything to it, the kidnappers have some internal struggle that's happening between them.
Right, and that's the twist there, is that the main bad guy got 1,000 kilos of some drug from a mob gangster, then it gets stolen from him, so now he owes the mob gangster the money equivalent of the drugs, but then it turns out that his brother of the main guy helped the mob steal the drugs back from him so that they could blackmail him into getting money, and that is why they are at Nick Cage's place in the first place. Everybody keeping up?
You guys got all that? Take a couple notes, get the notepad out. I had to do it too.
One of my notes just says, the girl smokes more crack.
The girl
Because she does. She just goes, at one point she's just smoking more crack, and that's it. And there's one scene where Nicolas Cage is laying on a table, and they're threatening to take his kidney out, and Nicolas Cage is fine with that for some reason.
Yeah, go for it.
And then that's when he goes, we don't want your kidney, why would we want your kidney? And he slams a knife down on the table. And so 2 of the kidnappers are arguing with Nicolas Cage, arguing with themselves while Nicolas Cage lays down on the table where this knife was just slammed, what appears to be an inch from his face.
So why didn't he take the knife?
Well, he tries to take the knife, but instead of just moving quickly, grabbing the knife and stabbing somebody, or just slowly moving your hand over, he does a cartoon finger walk. His fingers go boop, boop,
Is
boop,
he cartooning someone?
I think he's cartooning to getting that knife because it's just he's finger walking over there, and you're like, what are you doing? Just get the knife or don't. I really don't care, but pick one.
Oh, and we had to talk about isn't there this other twist with the serum or something that you will inject them with, but it'll only put them to sleep? I don't know.
There's I'm not even going to call it a subplot. I'll call it a shitty script writing. The guys are like, I've got this paralytic, and I'm going to give it to all 3 of you, and you guys will wake up, and you won't remember a thing. So he's trying to use that as an incentive for them to just, get shot with this paralytic, and then they won't have to deal with any of this. But then they're like, no, wait a minute, it's poison. And then they're like, wait, but no, it's not. And then Nick Cage goes, you know what that drug is? That drug is used for execution. And so by the time it's finally used on one of the bad guys, you don't know if somebody, if that guy's dead or not.
That's true.
And then, so he gets stabbed with it. Nick Cage gets in a fight with the biggest bad guy, and he stabs the bad guy with the paralytic, and the guy falls over. And the last thing you heard about it is that it is poison, even though we've heard that it is and it's not, twice.
But it ends up not being.
Right, so when he goes down, you're like, is that guy dead? I don't know. And then when he comes back up after he's not paralyzed anymore, even though we've been told if you're stabbed with it, you're paralyzed for like 12 hours. So 20 minutes later, he wakes up, and you're like, oh, he's not dead, whatever.
This is long in where the ceasing to care has definitely come into your brain.
And then at some point, everybody is back in the room because it's been like, they've been going here, and then they let the daughter go, but then they didn't really let the daughter go. Because they're going to let Nicolas Cage's daughter go to make him think that she got away so that they'll deal with him. But what they do is they put a jacket on her, and the guy slips his watch into the jacket pocket with like a 10-minute alarm on it.
Because they would know it needed to be exactly 10 minutes.
Or whatever. And she runs away.
Not fast enough.
Well, not at all, because she showed us earlier in the film that she goes from her door to a car on the highway when she's sneaking to the party in like a minute, maybe? But she has 10 minutes, and now she's just still on the property, but in the middle of the trashy woods.
Doesn't get anywhere to get a hold of the police.
Or anything. So she's in the middle of the woods, and the alarm goes off, so the kidnappers can find her, and she's just staring at the watch while it's beeping, and she's going like, just throw the watch.
Which brings another point to the film. It is an hour and a half of people screaming and crying.
And at least 40 minutes of that is people saying Kyle.
While crying and screaming.
While crying and screaming. Sometimes everybody's... There are big chunks of this movie where everyone is crying and screaming. There's no, like, talking in it.
Ugh, God, it just hurt my brain more. And then...
Yeah.
So then they get to... Then something happens, which I don't even remember, where... The alarm gets tripped, right? The house alarm?
Yeah, the house alarm gets tripped, and now the security company is calling.
No, I don't even think I think it's actually the police, isn't it?
No, it's the security company.
Oh, it is, okay.
The police don't do that. They don't respond to private alarms.
Well, here's my favorite part, though.
Well, they call, and the youngest guy picks up the phone, and they go, hi, this is so-and-so security company, and the guy goes, I gotta call you back!
Now, doesn't that...
Which is the worst thing you could do, because as soon as they hear that, they go like, okay, send all the police. But they don't do that.
Yeah, and then, so then they call back, right?
Yeah, are you asking me or are you telling me?
I'm making sure because I get like the continuation of this is just messing me all up.
Yeah, you have a 15-minute conversation with that woman. Yes, they call back.
Right, and then we need to speak to someone that lives there. Isn't that what happened next?
Are you going to tell me or are you going to ask me every sentence if that's what's happening?
Well, I'm trying to get you've got me all messed up on the continuation.
Yeah, yes, that's where the continuation is. They call back.
Anyways, they said, we need to talk to someone that lives there. So one of the bad guys puts the daughter on the phone, and the lady at the security company says, is everything all right there? Yes, everything's fine. Well, we need to send someone out there. And she's like, no, don't send someone out here. I'm having a party with my friends and my parents don't know. Can you please, not send anyone? And she thinks about it for a second and says, she's like, okay, just this once. And
then she cancels the response unit going out, but then it shows up anyway.
Yeah.
She goes, okay, and she clicks a button that says, like, cops go away, or whatever the button is.
Cops go away.
But then they show up anyway. Rendering that whole scene useless.
And they try to explain it to like, but the police were, told not to come, so I had to show up.
Right. So the guy shows up, and the main bad guy's like, well, okay, come on in. So he comes on. So he has the guy comes to the front of the house where he just has to sign something, and the security guard will go away. And the guy is like, has blood all over his face. He's sweating profusely. He threw a bathrobe over his clothes.
That makes it look okay.
Right, and he's like, oh, they'll think I live here. And the guard is like, not even like, wait a minute, can I see some ID? Who are you? Why do you have blood on your face? None of these questions come up. He just signs the thing, but then one of the kidnappers comes up behind the main bad guy and just shoots the guard in the head anyway.
Amazing.
So it's like, it's one of the two things. Have the guard be suspicious and have them have to kill him. Or have them convince him that everything's fine, and leave. You can't kind of do both.
And then kill him. And then isn't it like the one bad guy's like, well, he took my shift for tonight, and then he just called it. Oh my God, it just makes no sense.
Yeah, then he picks up the guard's radio and goes, this is car something something to headquarters. This is a 442. Everything's okay. And the woman on the other end didn't go, you don't sound like the guy I just sent there. Who is this?
She's just like 10-4.
They're just like, you got it.
So, all right, you go ahead. Finish the end of the story up.
So the daughter tells the bad guys that the party she was just at, the guy who lives there has a safe filled with like $1 million for, and I quote, in case a second 9/11 happens, and there's no money. Don't you remember right after 9/11 when they stopped printing money and we were all on the barter system for a couple of months?
I don't remember that part.
And so they're like, all right, well, we'll do fine, we'll believe you for no reason. Even though she is telling the truth, but they have no reason to believe her. So they're like, okay, we're going to sit here and we're going to watch these two while you go out. We're going to send the most trustworthy member of our team, the crackhead.
With you.
So they send the female crackhead. As soon as she's in the car, she says, as soon as we get there, I'm going to kill all your friends, and then I'm going to kill you. So the daughter just runs the car into a light pole and, like, unbuckles the crackhead's seatbelt. And we assume the crackhead dies because it's literally never shown.
But we never find out either.
Right. She could be fine and just unconscious, but we're going to assume she's dead because that's what you're supposed to think.
She does handcuff her to the steering wheel.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, she does.
No, she just unbuckles her seatbelt so she'll fly through the window.
Yeah, but then, no, after the crash, she handcuffs her to the
That's not... Is that shown?
Yeah. Yep.
I think you're making
No,
this up.
she uses the handcuff from... It's her dad's car.
I'm just going to choose to not believe it.
But that is what happened. I'm telling you.
All right.
Anyway.
And so then we get back to then we get back to the thing, and then the big guy wakes up, who we thought was dead, and Nicole Kidman shoots him, I think? No. The leader, he starts to choke Nicole Kidman, and the main bad guy comes up and shoots him in the back. I don't know why. And then
I do, because that was the one he was having the affair with.
No, that was another guy.
Oh, my God. I'm confused.
So they kill the bad guy, and it turns out that Nicole Kidman didn't have an affair with the main guy's brother, and then so she runs away, and her and Nick Cage run away into a part of their house that's under construction. Mm-hmm. And so the main bad guy and Nicolas Cage have a shootout, but Nicolas Cage only has a nail gun.
Wait, but he has been shot already in this movie.
Yes. So, at some point he gets shot in the leg. It doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't.
He gets shot in the leg, and now he's all hobbling around because he's shot in the leg. He's a fight with the main dude. Nick Cage gets shot again during the nail gun, real gun fight.
He gets hit in the stomach.
Right.
Now, by the way, you can't do that with a nail gun.
Yeah.
The way he's shooting it just doesn't work like that.
Well, they also have a line earlier in the film where they kind of explain to the audience the basic premise of a nail gun.
Uh-huh.
Where they're like, oh, that's a nail gun, but it doesn't fire nails until you turn it on. And he says that dialogue, and we're like, right, okay.
Thank you.
Anyway, but it's just well, we have to, it's almost like Chekhov's gun, but they took that rule too far, and they're like, well, not only do we have to show the gun, but we have to describe what a gun is. And you're like, all right, I got it anyway. And then when they use the nail gun later, I don't know if they thought you were, if they were hoping the audience would go oh, I get it. That's the nail gun. Oh.
It's turned on.
Oh, now it shoots nails because they turned it on because they said that earlier because apparently I'm a moron.
And doesn't he shoot his foot to the floor?
No, that happens later.
Oh, boy, yeah, wow.
We're almost done.
Thank God.
We're almost done. So
I can't wait to give my rating.
So the bad guy shoots No. Nicolas Cage nail guns the main bad guy. He falls back on a wall, and cash pours out of it.
So there was money.
So there was money. Twist again. And
I don't care.
So they're like, right. At this point, I'm just like, I paused it and went, there's 10 minutes left. Let's go. But I didn't realize in those 10 minutes, there would literally be 10 twists.
That's what happened in this movie.
So the daughter shows up with a gun. And she's like, let everybody go. I'm going to kill you. And the main guy's like, no, you're not. And then the brother of the main guy shoots the main guy in the back of the head. And he dies. I don't remember why he killed him. And then the main guy's like, come on, Nicole Kidman. You love me. Let's take all this money. They're like, and so he's gathering all the money. Nick Cage turns over a bottle of turpentine. And lights the house on fire. He starts freaking out and like, oh no, oh my God. And so Nick Cage is like, leave me in this house to burn and leave. So Nick Cage and the daughter leave.
No, no. Nick Cage doesn't leave.
Oh, you're right. The daughter and Nicole Kidman leave.
And he's also, I think, nail gunned him to the floor at this point.
I was just about to say that. So as soon as they leave, he picks up the nail gun and he nail guns the bad main guy's brother's feet to the floor so he can't run away, even though, like, those nail guns aren't welded in there. Yeah, it sucks, but pick your feet up and move.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't go through your foot and then into the ground.
Right, exactly. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm sure getting hit in the foot with a nail gun sucks, but it beats burning to death.
And he's still worried about the money at this point.
Which has already caught on fire.
And he's like, no, and he's trying to, like, I don't know.
And also, the cash catches on fire at such a rate where it's like, did Nicolas Cage soak each stack of hundreds in kerosene? Because they just burn up like they're made out of tissue paper.
You can definitely tell, like, when they directed the turpentine was, or whatever burning material they were using, you can when you watch the film, you can see exactly, like, it's made to burn around every character.
Right, exactly.
It's like, whoa, it's like this blaze, and I'm like, well, how did it get in this perfect circle like that?
So Nicole Kidman and the daughter leave, and Nick Cage nails the guy's feet to the floor, and he falls down, and you're supposed to think that they're both going to die. And then Nicole Kidman comes back, and she's like, no, don't shoot him. And then you think Nick Cage is dead, but he's not dead. He shoots the bad guy again, but this time with a real gun. And
then he falls in the fire.
And then he falls in the fire, the bad guy, not Nick Cage.
All right, there you go.
So then the last bad guy catches on fire, and his reaction to his complete immolation is minor annoyance.
He's like, ah.
Yeah, the guy falls over. And he is also apparently taking a bath in turpentine because he's not like, his clothes don't catch on fire. It's not like his clothes catch on fire and he has to try to put them out and he doesn't. His, like, face catches on fire first.
And it's a blaze, like, just whoom.
Yeah, just whoom, just his whole body bursts into flames, and he just goes like, bah. He does scream, but it's not like, it should be like, ah! Ah! Instead, he goes like, oh no. It's the same reaction you would have if you went to, like, a Cinnabon and they just sold the last fresh one. And you were like, oh no, I gotta get the old one. That's his reaction. And then so he dies, and then Nicolas Cage is still laying there, and Nicole Kidman takes him out. So Nicole Kidman takes him out, his daughter comes running back because she's like, the cops are coming, and they all lay down in the grass together to what I can only assume is now Nicolas Cage's deathbed.
Guess what?
Because
we never find out.
We never find out, because the movie cuts to black, and then the movie cuts to black, and then everybody in the movie theater goes, what the fuck was that?
I'm glad I didn't pay for this movie.
Well, I have some interesting trivia about this.
To me?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
This film broke the fastest ever release from theater to home video.
It did, I think. Yeah, I think I heard about that.
29 days.
That's not even a month.
That's not even a month. They made it. The film took 29 days to film to get on DVD. Oh, wait, no, I'm wrong. The film took 29 days to get on DVD. Tresspass made it only to 18. It made it to DVD in 18 days.
After it finished in the theater?
That's impossible. Like, they had to have made the movie and been like, start printing them right now.
This is going to be awful.
I mean, it's not. Oh, okay. Question for you.
Can I interlude?
Oh, of course.
What do you think the budget was for this film?
I was just about to ask you. $35 million.
How much did it make?
24,000, and it was only in the theater for 10 days. They didn't even make back like a fraction of what they were. Joe Schumacher lost this production company a ton of money.
It says here the box office made $9.5 million.
What I'm looking at said it grossed 24,000.
That's pretty bad. Oh my God!
I got another one for you. Production was halted in the middle of filming because it was reported that Nicolas Cage wanted to switch his role and become one of the kidnappers.
Okay.
In the middle of the movie.
Okay, can we just scrap all this?
Hey, I know we've been filming for like 19 of this 30-day shoot, but I would like to completely switch my roles and waste another 12 million of your 35 million. Where did that money go? Nicolas Cage had to get at least 10, right?
Probably. What do you think? Did you see the Rotten Tomatoes score on this?
No. What is it?
10%.
How did it get that? How did they get that?
That's still pretty bad.
10% means like one person was like, this one scene was okay. It is just, this movie is just wall-to-wall twists. It's like, I need a kidney. I don't need a kidney. I'm going to leave you here, Nicolas Cage, to burn in this building. No, wait, no, I'm not. I'm back. We have diamonds. No, we don't. We have no diamonds. Okay, well, we don't have any money either. But we do have money. We'll take this necklace, but I don't have a Like, it's just, it happens so often that you don't know what's real, to the point where when a twist happens, you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. It's not, like, none of it is entertaining. Like I said, the first 10 minutes where he shows up and then the kidnappers show up, you're like, okay. The kidnappers show up and all they do is go like, get on the ground, close this, give us your cell phones. That's when it's tense.
Yeah, you're like, whoa, and that's here we go, okay. And
right, okay, here we go, and nobody said anything stupid yet, so we're still going. But then it doesn't even get 5 minutes into the kidnappers being there because the first twist comes where they're like, what's the code to the security? And they're like, don't worry, we know the code. And you're like, well, then what the fuck, guys?
I saw it when I looked at it on Netflix. I mean, the picture looks actually pretty good.
If you want to, yes, I'll agree with you there. This looks like a real movie. Like, visually, there are cameras that filmed it, and there were actors in it. And you could tell that there was at least one boom mic. Outside of that, that's where it ceases to relate to other films.
I mean, and today's age, to act like any kind of suspense action film like that, it's actually...
Whoa, you...
I'm really having a problem there.
I was going to say, you need to squeeze that out.
It's very hard to do because audiences are not really... Those films don't really do that well, I don't think.
A lot of them do because they have, like, you know, a writer who knows what he's doing and a director who has directed more than just crap and, like, a interesting plot and a plot that goes forward as opposed to going, like... I will say that instead of, like, every 10 minutes, instead of this plot advancing... all of a sudden it'll go to the left for a second, and you're like, why are we over here now? And it's like, never mind, we're going forward again. And then it just goes forward, and then it makes a right, and you're like, what? We don't need to be over here. We don't need to see this.
Razzie Award.
For what? The worst thing ever?
Nicolas Cage, worst actor.
Do you think Nicolas Cage sort of just, like, cinches that award every year?
Also for Drive Angry and Season of the Witch.
Drive Angry, I heard, is good if you got a person to watch it with and, like, a six-pack in front of you. I hear you can actually make it through that. But Season of the Witch, I heard, is really dumb.
Oh, wait. He didn't win it. He got a nomination. He lost.
He didn't even... What did he lose this to?
Adam Sandler.
Okay.
Jack and Jill and Just Go With It.
Okay, you know what? Adam Sandler totally earned it for Jack and Jill.
I really don't like Adam Sandler as an actor at all. So
Well, I don't like him because he is a con man who just is swindling Hollywood out of money one film at a time.
I do the same. All my characters I play are the same person.
Yeah, all of my characters are the same person. Adam Sandler.
It's not even. He doesn't actually play a character. It's just him.
He plays him as Adam Sandler, and sometimes Adam Sandler is a goofy kid when he was brand new in Hollywood and he didn't have any money, so he's like, I'm a silly guy and going back to school. And now that he has $1 trillion, he's like, I'm a rich guy who just does rich guy things. That's the plot of Jack and Jill, and Grown Ups 1 and 2. If anybody has no idea what Red Letter Media is, go to redlettermedia.com and watch their review of Jack and Jill. It will make you just sad about the process in which movies are made and how Adam Sandler appears to literally be stealing everyone's money.
I mean, the last movie I saw of his was 8 Crazy Nights.
That was like 10 years ago,
right.
And that was bad.
Right, so why do I have any incentive to watch any more of his films?
You mean Adam Sandler's 8 Crazy Nights, or as it's also known as, the ad for every mall chain? There's literally a scene in that movie where a character voiced by Adam Sandler sings a song about, isn't it great to go to Foot Locker and Panda Express and, like Victoria's Secret and this and that? It's just naming stores.
Basically a huge ad campaign.
Basically a huge Ackman.
Ackman?
Huge Ackman.
Hugh Jackman? How did he get in this?
Well, because if I have to explain to you the joke, it just doesn't.
Whatever.
Zing. Anyway. So
you're up on this. Go ahead.
I'm up. I will give you my quick review for myself. I will give you what I think of it, and then after that, do you want to suggest a film?
Yeah, I'll have to suggest it. What, for the next one?
No, just a movie we like.
Oh, that we like. Okay, something that we've watched.
Well,
recently.
because we just talked about everything we hate.
I've got a few ideas. Yep.
Okay, all right. So,
oh wait, can I hold on?
Oh, Jesus Christ! What?
Does it have to be like a film, like an action film like this?
Oh
or
my
just
God! No, it's just what all these rules. Just a movie.
Oh, okay. My name is Francis, not Francis.
Okay, I'm sorry, I forgot.
This is incognito here, so.
That's right, because everybody will know who you really are when I say your real name.
You're up.
Okay.
You're up. Go ahead.
Europe? What
You're
about
up.
Europe?
I said go ahead.
Where? Like Germany? Okay. And okay, so my quick review and then my what I consider it.
What's wrong with you?
We'll cut that out later.
Okay.
So this movie is about Nicolas Cage and Nicole Kidman get kidnapped, and then they find out they do have diamonds, and they don't have diamonds, but they have money, and then they don't have money, and then they have an expensive necklace, and they don't have an expensive necklace, and then the mad guy needs a kidney, and then he doesn't need a kidney, and then they call the police, but then they don't call the police, and Nicolas Cage dies at the end.
We think.
I give this movie, let's say, 13 Heinekens out of 20 Heinekens. And by that, I mean, this movie is a hot dog. This movie's really bad. You know what? If you are morbidly curious and you are into self-inflicted pain and you want to, if you want to be angry, if you're in a really good mood and you're like, man, for some reason, I wish I was just livid. Watch this movie, and by the end of it, you will just be pulling your Roku or whatever you stream on out of the wall because you'll just be like, stop it, why are you doing this to me? It's horrible. Okay, so you're up.
I thought you were giving your suggestion. That's after.
That's part 2. We'll do that part 2. So give your quick summary and then your review.
All right, so yeah, this movie is just a cluster. I mean, it got to the point where I was watching it on my computer, and I ended up I started to do other things while I watched it because I was so disgusted by it. As Zach said, there's just so many.
No, my name is Zaxis.
Oh, okay, Zaxis. We're new at this, so give us some time. We don't know each other's names yet. So. Zaxis said there's so many plot twists that aren't necessary. The people, the characters are just all stupid. Too many big words that don't need to be there from people that wouldn't use them. I could have cared less about the action. All right, so we'll go to my rating scale. As you all know, I use the 5-point system going on tenths. I will give it a 0.7.
You know what? That's probably very accurate.
Yeah.
All right, you want to go into your movie suggestion, or you want me to go?
I'll go. All right,
go. And action.
Action. All right.
And start.
So.
And go.
I'm gonna go. What are you doing?
And start.
Anyways, I just recently.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right. I'm stop. I recently just watched for the first time in a very long time the Transformers cartoon movie from the 80s. It's actually a really good film. It stood the test of time pretty well, and it beats the crap out of anything Michael Bay has done. So if you want a good action flick and you don't mind a cartoon, that's my recommendation. Transformers the movie.
All right, and my recommendation is I'm going to put it in my top 20 favorite films. It's not my top 10, but it's really up there. I recently just started watching Soylent Green. It's from 1973, and it stars Charlton Heston and Edward G. Robinson. And it's Charlton Heston's second out of his trilogy of sci-fi films he did in the late 60s, early 70s. It was Planet of the Apes, Soylent Green, and then Omega Man. Soylent Green is right up there with Planet of the Apes for me. If you don't know what it is, you should really watch it. If you Google it, you can find it on Google Video for free. You can just stream it on your computer. And you don't have to, pirate it or anything. Well, I guess it's technically... I'm going to say you're not pirating it. But it's up there. You can watch the whole thing. It's a great film. It was Edward G. Robinson's 101st movie. And he died 3 weeks after filming it. And the only reason I bring that up is because there was an amazing scene where Edward G. Robinson's character of Saul... Why did you just blow into the microphone?
I'm sorry. I was aghast.
I was bored.
I was aghast at the fact that you said
I'm bored.
Movie.
Why?
Sorry.
So it's Edward G. Robinson's 101st movie, and the only reason I bring that up is because he died 3 weeks afterwards, and there is a scene where his character Saul is dying. Charlton Heston's character in the film is reacting to him dying and crying. And if you watch this movie based on this suggestion, just keep in mind that Charlton Heston was the only person at the time, other than his immediate family, who knew that Edward G. Robinson was dying. It's not that he's reacting to the character as much as he is reacting to this actor who is actually dying. He's in the middle of dying in this movie, in real life. And it just adds it adds reality to the scene, and it adds it makes it believable. Not to mention, the movie is a classic. It's got a bunch of retro futurism in it, so they'll be like, we're in the future, look, we have video games, and they're playing, asteroids or something, and it can be kind of campy in that sense. It's retroactively campy because you're reacting to what they thought the future would be, but just in addition to that, it also is... It does have a lot of things that apply to now, because in the 70s they made this movie, and it's about global warming when nobody thought global warming was real. And if you watch it today, it kind of holds a little bit of weight where you're like, man, this could happen, and this would really suck. If you haven't seen Soylent Green, Google it. Click video, it's on there. If you have, watch it again, because I've watched it 1,000 times, and every time I watch it, I'm just satisfied every time.
Well, that sounds pretty good, actually. That's a lot more in-depth than mine was.
Well, I love this movie, and I just watched it. It's great. You should watch it.
I'm going to check it out.
Okay, good. You got anything else before you want to sign off, brethren?
No, sir.
Before we sign off, if you want to like us on Facebook, you can Facebook us at This Movie Is a Hot Dog. If you want to send us fan mail, questions, comments, or hate mail, we prefer hate mail, you can email us at moviehotdog@gmail.com. And are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
You can Twitter us or follow us at Twitter at moviehotdog .twitter/the internet. I don't.
No, what's our name? We're new to this. What's our Twitter name?
It's @moviehotdog.
That's
but
all
I feel
that is.
like
That's it.
But anytime you list the website, you
Hashtag something stupid.
@moviehotdog /the Internet Explorer.
Wow, I didn't know we're on the Twitter now.
Yeah, that was the surprise.
Wow,
Surprise.
I'm excited. We are on the
Are
Twitter.
You?
Yep.
Are you though?
Yep.
All right. Okay. Well, that's all for This Movie Is a Hot Dog. I'm Zach.
I'm Francis.
Thanks.